Hey, hey, hey. Let's see who's hanging out today. I am cutting a mask for one of the Voodoo Dolls characters. They are back in stock. We have a really hard time keeping these bad boys in stock, let me tell you. I am trying to get my computer to work. Just need to refresh so that the video shows up. That way I can see all of your comments. There we go. All right. So, I'm sure Milligan will pop on today because I'm cutting a mask. That seems to be her siren song. And I believe I'm going to be cutting several masks because I am going to make a Valentine's Day card. But those of you who know me know that I am not super duper into Valentine's Day. It's kind of like an anti-holiday for me. Never have been. Valentine's Day has just never been a thing for me. I know some people love it. Some people love. But it's just not my thing. So, I have the lovely mandala stencil hanging out. I have the Voodoo Dolls stamp set hanging out. I have my magic potion, which I called this potion bottles way back in the day. So, I didn't realize the name had changed. But, hey, it's all good. And, I have my Misty. I have Sweet Sentiment craft paper. Move that up just a little bit for y'all. Sweet Sentiment craft paper. Let's see who's here. Who's here? Hi, Linda Lou. Do you mind saying hello so I can make sure my comments are working? And we're gonna get cracking on this Valentine's Day card, or this anti-Valentine's Day card, as it were. Not that it's really anti, it's just going to be, hi, thank you. It's just going to be like very non-traditional. So with this, you definitely want to get this lined up super well. I was hanging out with my husband this morning and I drank way too many cups of coffee. So I could probably thread a sewing machine without turning it off right now. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of these potion bottles. I want this heart one, but I don't necessarily want it all cracked. Maybe I do want it all cracked. I don't know. Haven't made a decision yet. And then I want this one that's like bigger at the bottom. For some reason, it's calling to me, so we're going to use that one. My computer's doing stupid stuff again, so there's that. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to be careful to kind of set them on the same plane. So where he's sitting, I want to set these back just a little bit so they look like they're behind him. Okay. And then since they're glass bottles, I want them to kind of fade into the background some. Oh no, my mask is going to come up. There we go. And so I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use, I don't know. I've also chosen a couple of papers. This one's from Stampin' Up, and then this one is from Doodlebug. So just FYI, that's why those are sitting out there. I think I'm going to use this one because of the color of paper. Who else is logged on here? Can y'all say hello? And I'm gonna stamp these a couple of times because this ink is so light and it's brown ink on craft paper, so it definitely will come out super light. Tell me, are you guys into Valentine's Day? Do you guys love all of the flowers and candies and cards and all that stuff? Or are y'all like me? And I think that's good. I think I'm going to leave it where it's at. However, I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to make masks for these because I want to do a little more stamping. So this is my masking paper. And I'm going to start by wiping these off because I like to be really frugal with my masking paper. And so I want to line them up as much as I can. You did? Yay, Linda Lou. I'm so proud of you. Look at me all rhyming and stuff. So I'm going to set these like this so that I don't use big chunks of my paper. Man, these are sticky stamps. I wonder why. And I'm going to use my black. Hey, Tiffany! I almost chose paper that had cherries on it just for you. But I didn't. Haha. Okay. And then I'm going to wipe these off. And put them back on my paper, or on my packaging, my carrier sheet. And put them back in here. These are called Magic Potion. So if you need them, that's what they're called. I'm going to cut these out. Okay, put this back in with the rest of my masking paper. Now with masks, you have to cut right on the black line. Tiffany, are you into Valentine's Day? Holly, howdy. Are you into Valentine's Day? See, that's why I'm making this kind of like off-color Valentine's Day card. Because your homegirl here just has never liked Valentine's Day. It's just, and it's not that like I have any like bad experiences or anything. It's just not my thing. Barry, when we were very first dating, like our first Valentine's Day together, he bought me a pair of Doc Marten shoes. That's how I knew he was a keeper. He bought me Doc Martens for Valentine's Day instead of flowers. Your Valentine is 9. You have a really handsome Valentine. He's so stupid. stinking cute. Does he still like you, or is he doing the preteen, like, you can only have a side hug, like a bro hug? Mine started doing that at like 7. Broke my heart. I give the hubby a Valentine's Day card. Every year, but I don't do all the decorations and stuff. We'd rather spend our money on... Right? Agreed. I have better things to spend my money on than flowers and crap. My, sorry, I was getting text messages. My husband also bought me, Copic markers for Valentine's instead of flowers. He loves you still. That's good. So, cause I told him, I was like, I don't want flowers or candy or stupid stuff that's gonna like die or, you know, whatever. So here's my list. And so he would pick a couple of markers off the list each time. And he would buy me markers for holidays and, Valentine's and all of that kind of stuff. So that was kind of cool. That was how I finished my Copic collection. So anyways, you guys, I try not to do a whole bunch of prep beforehand because I want you to see as much of the process as possible on these cards. And so if it seems like, you know, I'm flying by the seat of my pants, because that's kind of my card making style. I do sort of fly by the seat of my pants. And so that's why I have a well-stocked craft room. And when I am making these and somebody suggests something or whatever, I can go get it. Oh, hi Mom. Hi Lena. Copic and Boots. Yep, he's a keeper. That's how I knew. So I do have a well-stocked craft room. And as I get ideas or you guys make suggestions or whatever, that's when I go get stuff. Okay, so now you can see these are kind of above him because I'm going to draw a shelf underneath him. So then the last thing I want to do is I have these flowers. These are Sweet Williams flowers. It's called Sweet Sincerity. This stamp set is still in stock. And I want to add a couple of flowers around this because, of course, you know, it is Valentine's Day-ish. Sweet Williams, my parents used to grow in the yard when I was really little. And, well, kind of all my life. And so it always reminds me of home with these Sweet William flowers. I also have this stamp set. This is called With Great Love. This one is out of stock, but I really love this daisy and I want to use this sentiment, do small things with great love. So, I know that this one is out of stock and I'm super sorry, but I also know a bunch of you have this because we had a lot of this stamp set. And so I do want to stamp it here. And yes, I'm using my third. I get glitter, he gets model kits. Yes, you and Tony definitely have it worked out for sure. There you are, Milligan. I knew you'd be here. I said earlier that I was cutting masks, and that is Milligan's siren song. So I knew you'd show up because I was cutting masks. There's also a stamp set that Sandy made that's called Oops a Daisy that has little daisies on it. That's a great one. So I'm going to use some of these Sweet Williams flowers just because they're pretty simple to use. I'll set this the right way so you guys can see. And they'll definitely add that little bit of more like, you know, florally feel for the Valentine's Day scenario. And that's why I chose these. They're really simple. Sweet Williams, like I said, my parents grew them my whole life. And I remember them growing along the fence line of my horse stall, my horse paddock. And they come in pretty much every different color you could possibly imagine. You can grow them in any color. So that is why I'm using these bad boys on here. You're sicker than a dog, so's Lena. I did have a horse. I had an Appaloosa. His name was Apache. He was a big old sweetheart. He was a very large horse as well. He was a big guy. But yeah, he was a sweetheart and I loved him. Nope. Yep. Yeah, my pal got the Rona. Okay. Mom probably has me on in her craft room while she's crafting. She's sewing. She's sewing today. We got a whole bunch of cool stuff to put on her soffit to decorate with. So I'm really excited to go over there and get that done. It'll be so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna put that away. Close that. Do you guys clean up in between things? I always clean up in between things so that I'm clear. Okay, so now I'm going to peel the masks, which means I'm going to grab this because I like to put the masks on the carrier sheets. So that I can reuse them. You love her planner pouches? Which planner pouches? The ones that my mom makes? All right. All of my masks are now saved. I'm telling y'all, I drank enough coffee today I can thread a sewing machine without turning it off. That's what you use it for. Okay, here we go. So I don't lose what I have going on here. What I'm gonna do is start with this heart-shaped potion bottle. And y'all know I'm gonna make it like Love Potion, right? It's gonna be red glass, and it's gonna be awesome. So, I'm gonna come in around the little voodoo doll. Yes, y'all, I'm using a voodoo doll. Because I am that girl. And then I'm just adding shadows. Starting off pretty easy. No, these ones I did when I was at Sandy's house. Her girl did my nails. But it's about time to fill them. Okay, so I'm going to go like red with this. Red, white. Well, thank you. They are very grown out, so I'm going to add to them. And I really want to make this bottle look like it's curved. So I'm gonna go ahead and shade in quite a bit of this right now so that it curves back with the light. I want it to be a little dark. A little dark and sinister here. For those of you who don't have TikTok or don't follow our TikTok, I've been working on creating more TikToks for Sweet Sentiment and putting them into the reels of our Facebook and Instagram. If you have Facebook and Instagram, I would totally appreciate any interaction with those reels or our posts because we're trying to up our algorithms so that we can be seen. Our focus this year is brand recognition, so we're doing our best. So we would totally appreciate the interaction with those. I'm going to be putting ones up that ask questions or opinions. And so if you would reply with your questions or opinions, that would be awesome because that also helps up the algorithms. This is Sweet Sentiment craft paper, in case you're wondering. Love coloring on craft, gives it a little bit of a vintage vibe to it. And I am pulling those darker colors over into the light because this is a bottle, and so I'm just trying to get a nice smooth blend with a nice big highlight. You need to order paper. Yep. We have all the A2s in right now, which is fantastic because we don't always have A2s. So we have a ton of the A2 papers in right now, all of the kinds. And then we have 8.5 by 11, all three kinds. So purple label is a little bit thinner, so it'll go through your printer. Teal label is a little bit thicker. It may not go through your printer. And when we get the next teal label paper, it will definitely not go through your printer. because I have them made a thicker caliber. This craft paper will definitely go through all of anybody's printer. I love, love, love coloring on craft. I know you guys have heard me say it a bunch, but it's just so fun. It's so different. It does. It's very, very pretty. If you are a paper geek like me, the craft paper, you can actually see the paper fibers in, and it's beautiful. It's 30% post-consumer recycled, and that's pretty cool. And it's coated on the inside instead of the outside. Oop, there you go. See how you can see all those paper fibers? But it's still smooth, even though you can see the paper fibers. It's fantastic. Okay, so this bottle, what color should we color this bottle? I'm almost thinking like purple, because, I mean, it seems, maybe I'll make a purple potion in it. So BB29, BB08, BB17, 15, and 12. We're gonna go like a stormy purple liquid in here. Okay, so I'm gonna take this light purple. Oh, neighbor walking by with their dog, and there goes Archie. I'm gonna take this light purple and I'm gonna kind of draw in where I want this potion to be. So that I don't mess it up. Did Shelby take off barking too? He scared her. Aw, thanks for sharing the video. I really appreciate it. Because he sounds like he's 6 pounds instead of 5. Archie is 13 pounds. It's Bo that is tiny. Bo is my mom's dog. And he is teeny. He probably is 6 pounds, maybe 7. Okay. Right, Milligan? Shelby's 9 pounds. Oh my God, what a cutie. Milligan's got puppies too. Milligan, how much do your puppies weigh? Shelby is a little weenie dog, for those of you who are wondering. She's a little dappled merle weenie dog too. She's so stinking cute. She's got a super rare coloration on her. $11 and $18. We all have little dogs. Neediest dog ever. It's because you're used to farm dogs. You don't need a whole bunch. Okay, I'm getting there on this potion, guys. I don't know why this potion is in movement while it's sitting on the shelf, but hey, maybe it's in California and they just had an earthquake. But there we go. Okay. True, Mom. True. Because it's magic. And that's all you need to know. It's because it's magic. So, I'm going to draw, because it is magic, I'm going to draw some bubbles. She's doing laps with her dog, apparently. So. Now, when you color with these super light colors, it's going to make the paper look really dark until they dry. So, don't be afraid. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. And then I'm going to take a super duper light blue to kind of give the glass bottle some blue sheen to it. Down here, a little bit of shadow from the Voodoo Doll. I'm going to go over it a second time just because I used that desert sand ink. And so I want this to really show as blue. There we go. All right. So now we're gonna do, I'm gonna do the base of that one. So I'm gonna start with E27. I'm saving the Voodoo Doll kind of for last because I'm not 100% certain what color I want to color him. I was kind of thinking of making it a pink Voodoo Doll. I know Milligan will be happy with that. E25. And there's Archie again. And E23. Who else is watching? Hi, Wendy. Say hello. Let us know where you're from. We're coloring a different style of Valentine's card today, as you can tell, because we're using a Voodoo Doll and some magic potions. My kind of card, right? I'm going to go ahead and color the green for this stem because it's just sticking out here so pretty. And I know I'm going to forget it. And then this one as well. You guys, I'm going to end up with so many markers. I said I was going to color the Voodoo Doll pink and that you would like that. You would be on board for the Voodoo Doll. I said I wasn't sure what color I wanted to color the Voodoo Doll, but I was thinking pink. I could find you apt enough for that, right? Okay, so I'm going to use some W's to color the base of this jar. I feel like it would have a black base. Not sure why I feel that way, but I do. You were gonna write color it pink? But then what color do I color the flowers? I mean, I know the daisy's going to be white. Mom, Sweet Williams kind of come in every color, right? I can literally color them any color I want. I like having my mom here because she is, her and Dad could grow literally any flower. Well, pretty much anything. They are fantastic gardeners. And so since they can do that, they know all the different colors and stuff. I know it's your answer for everything. See, I gotta think ahead because if I color the Voodoo Doll pink, then I need to be able to color the flowers still. So I gotta think. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is starting to look super duper cool. Very happy with it right now. Okay. So, Voodoo Doll. All right, I think I'm going to go like bubblegum pink with it. Let me see. Do I have my color cards here? I'm going to pull out my color cards. Oh, this would be fun. I'm gonna use this one. Okay. RV14, 13, R2, RV21, RV10. All right, here we go. I'm gonna see how this looks on craft paper. So we're gonna color the majority of the doll pink, and then other things, other colors will come into play. But I think a cute little pink voodoo doll for Valentine's Day is definitely in order. Right? Who's with me? Ooh, Mom, I need a couple of buttons out of your sewing stash so I could put buttons on her eyes. So I'm going to start by just coloring the head first, because I still want to be able to layer these markers up to blend them together, or at least give the illusion that they're blended together. Copic markers don't actually blend because it's alcohol ink. Alcohol ink layers, it doesn't blend. So you're seeing the darker color through the lighter color. You guys are awfully quiet out there. Hi, Diana. How are you today? I remember when I was little, for Valentine's Day, we would come home from school and my mom would have gone to the store, which, let me tell you, the store was like 40 minutes away, 40 minute drive away. So she always had it planned. Especially since there was 4 of us girls. But anyways, we would go to school, and then when we'd come home, there would be sitting on the bar top counter a vase that had a red rose in it and a balloon for each one of us, and then some sort of treat that we loved. So, I mean, whether it was like one of the hearts that was like the Russell Stover candies or whatever, or whatever our favorite little candy was. Some little treat for Valentine's Day every year. And I remember all of that. She always did stuff like that for us growing up. Look at that pink little voodoo doll. It's so cute. Okay, now we're going to go for the body. And there's a lot of patches and stuff on the body, so we're going to leave some of those to be colored in different colors. Linda Lou. Okay. Lena's the welcoming committee on today's live. So again, if you guys want the Voodoo Dolls stamp set, it is back in stock, both stamps and dies. We don't sell dies separately now, so it's a bundle. So you can buy the stamp by itself or the stamp and die bundle. And we have the potion bottles are in stock right now. So again, with those, we also have the stamp by itself or the stamp and die bundle. These very quickly and easily color up. Super fun. You can use these for so many things. I mean, obviously right now I'm using it for Valentine's Day, so that should give you an idea. The sky's the limit. One of our design team members colored this specific voodoo doll as gingerbread men for Christmas. It was wicked cute. No pun intended. Or maybe pun intended, who knows? So yeah. Definitely versatile little images here. I like this cute little kind of bubblegum pink color on this specific doll. There's several voodoo dolls that are with this set. One's like a bunny rabbit, and the other one is nondescript. I think it kind of looks like Scrump from Lilo and Stitch. So I love him. If you color it that minty green color, it definitely would look like Scrump. This is the hard part about coloring on craft paper, is the alcohol in the marker makes it wet, so it looks like it's super dark, but then it dries and comes about. So you have to be patient when coloring on craft paper. Okay, so I'm going to use these markers that I used for the base of this to add little hands. Because why not, right? Those markers are right there. Let's reuse them. There we go. Okay. I like these greens. So, and I have this yellow that I used on the bubbles, so I'm going to use that for one of these patches. Probably this one right here. And I'm going to use the same markers for this one underneath his neck. Because we like to reuse. Well, hi, Tony. How are ya? Hey, Rachel. Yay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And then I think I'm going to use purple for this patch down here. Thanks, babe. Now, this to me is either stuffing or a complete hole through his leg. I don't know what you guys think about that, but let me know. Let me know what you think. Okay, I'm going to worry about the buttons a little bit later. So I'm going to come in and color this. I think I'm going to color this particular flower purple. Because again, when you're using this many markers, it's great to kind of reuse some of them. So that you're not using 800 gajillion markers. You're doing just peachy. I mean, we all know that I use 800 gajillion markers anyways, but if any of you are willing to share this video, I would much appreciate it. I know Lena shared it in her group. Thank you, pal. Appreciate it. When I'm done recording this video, then I pop it over onto our YouTube. Oh, I do. I just, I know that a couple of my markers need ink in them, so I wasn't pulling the caps off of those because I was forcing the ink to go down into the nib. So, why you gotta call me on that? Jeez. Okay, so the middle of these flowers tends to be like a dark brown, so I'm going to start with my W8. And I'm going to use the dappling or stippling or pepper shading, whatever you like to call it, so that I can get texture. This could be a daisy, but to me it looks more like a black-eyed Susan with how large that is. Oh, well, Tony, knock it off, man. Sometimes I get lazy, and when it's just a couple of brush strokes, I don't take the second cap off. But that's usually when like a big blob happens. So I try not to do that. But every once in a while, it just happens. Anybody have any good ideas for dinner? I don't know what to make for dinner, and I want to make something so delicious. Rachel, you're here. You usually have good ideas for dinner. Hit me, mamacita. So with all of these brown markers, it made this like super duper brown. And I want to pull it back a little bit into the gray or black realm. We're having little baked potatoes with pulled pork on them. Well, that sounds amazing. So I'm using W4 to bring this a little bit more into the gray instead of the brown. I'm liking that, so that's great. Now, I have this flower peeking out here and this flower peeking out here. I need to know colors. So this one, I'm gonna make like a softer pink color. I'm gonna use my R's. Meatball sandwiches with my homemade meatballs and sauteed onions and peppers. Ooh, Holly, that sounds amazing. Do you put marinara sauce on those meatball subs? I should. There you go. We were gonna do like a charcuterie type scenario for dinner, and we invited mom and dad over, but my mom is working on a project, so they are not gonna come over for dinner. So now I was like, well, I better come up with something. Just jarred spaghetti sauce with the heated up in the microwave. Okay, I can handle that. My husband will want it oozing with cheese. Grab some mozzarella and some Parmesan. It's funny you say that, Holly, because my husband just the other day was like, I could go for like a meatball sub. It was on a commercial or something, and he was like, that looks amazing. So, yeah, you bake the meatballs first. Thank you for adding that tidbit. I appreciate you. When I don't know what to do for dinner, I usually always go to Holly or Rachel. I'm always like, what should I be making? Because both of those girls know what's up. Okay, so this glass, I just realized, is clear, and this flower should be behind it. So I'm gonna do something that I never, ever, ever do. Are you guys scared for me? Yeah, Holly, that sounds amazing. Are you guys scared for me? Because I'm scared for me. Okay, so this one. This must be the small one. Yep. So it goes like that. Okay. I'm not too awful worried about it. That's why I'm doing it this way. Hey, not too shabby, right? Okay, and I'm gonna color that like this. Maybe this is sitting in front of the jar. Maybe this is on the jar. I'm okay with that. Now that I stamped it this way, it kind of looks like it's on the jar, and that's kind of cool too. So what do you know? It's like Bob Ross, Happy Little Trees. One of your best kit bashes ever. I'm not real sure what that means. I think there's a compliment in there, so thank you. Set bashes. Oh, like mashup? Set mashes? Yeah, I've used a number of sets on this. That is true. Kind of fun. When I don't know what to do for my lives, I often go to Lena and say, what should I do for my live that's in like 10 minutes? Help me figure out something. And then she usually gives me some random idea, and then I try to go with it. And so that's where this came from. She was like, do a Valentine's Day card. And I was like, Barf, I hate Valentine's Day. And she was like, I know, but other people like it. Okay, so now I need to do the cap of this. And I think the cap of this is going to be... What color should the cap of this bottle be? Oops. Should I do it just cork like the other one? I mean, I'm all about reusing the markers, right? So I may as well practice what I preach. Okay, and I know I've left this flower undone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm grabbing a couple of colored pencils. This one is Payne's Gray. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of shadow. And then I need ideas, guys, on what color I should do those button eyeballs. I want to do them 2 different colors. Look at my teeny tiny pencil. Neon green and neon blue. Yeah, what Michelle said. You guys really like to challenge me, don't you? Okay, so just adding some white into these flowers so that they have a little bit more dimension. There we go. Set those aside. How hard are you pressing with the pencil? The color is going on so nice and thick, but it doesn't look like you're wearing out the point too badly. I am not pressing very hard with the pencil. When you pick up a pen, your inclination is to write, and writing is about 50% pressure. I am about 30% pressure. So I will be adding a few more highlights with this, but yes, I don't push very hard with my pencil, and I just do several layers. And I was just doing all those layers kind of at once. So, and I put my little pencil right here. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is the eyeballs. Okay, so we want some neon blue. Y'all are asking for some neon blue. Mind blown. Purple for the right one and red for the left one. You already said blue and green. Can't be changing your mind now. And I'm going all out neon for you too. I'm even using the neon colors. Okay. Oops. And then we're going to go with like a yellowish green. And then, because y'all want neon, we're going neon. Just in case I didn't like your suggestions. Kind of makes it creep-tastic with those glowing eyeballs. Okay, I'm gonna add some highlights here. Okay, now I'm gonna put white on the stuffing. And then since that stuffing is like so weird inside, it's just like a hole, what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of texture to it. There we go. Okay, I want to add a highlight to this button. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take this same pencil and we're going to ground the guy. And the cool thing about doing this with colored pencils is you can sketch this in really soft. Notice how my hand is totally at the back of the pencil. Because I don't need a lot of control. And I'm going to sketch all this in super soft all the way down to the bottom. And then I'm going to brush this in with my finger. Okay. Then wherever these touch, I'm going to come in with a second layer. Stay inside that first layer that you've already made. Okay, I'm going to blend those together. Just the oils from your finger is enough to soften those edges and blend those together. You can come in with Gamsol and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, for this, I just really don't. And then I'm going to come in with a third layer. Notice how I'm choking up on my pencil some more. Adding a little more pressure. This isn't quite burnishing because I'm not really pushing hard, but I'm about maybe 50% pressure, just like writing pressure. And then I'm gonna kind of fade that out just a little bit. Now this part right here in front of the Voodoo doll, this is about 60% pressure. And I'm doing circular motions because I want to get rid of that grain. There we go. Soften it up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Where's my white pencil? Okay, so I'm gonna scoot all of my markers aside, dump them out. They're gonna be in no particular order. Dibs. and we're gonna make the card real fast. Okay, so I have this. I have my stuff here. So I got to decide if I want it on the white or if I want it on the pink. So I think I'm going to go pink first and then white. So I cut a lot of card bases at a time. And so what I'm going to do is I just get like a ream of paper cardstock. And I cut a whole bunch of card bases all at the same time. So I always have them handy. I'm going to take this sheet of paper, pull this out, make sure, so this says love you on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it says love you. So make sure when you're cutting it, it's going to go the right direction. So a lot of times I go like this. So I need this to be 4. If I cut this to 4 1/4, that's the same width as the card. So I like to cut it about 1/8 of an inch smaller. And then again, if I cut this to 5 1/2, that's the same width of a card. So I like to cut it about 1/8 of an inch smaller. So then that fits on my card base like that. I must have cut that wrong. Yeah, I cut it at 4. Let me go grab another one. Oh, I brought the paper over here. There it is. Let's try that again. So, we're gonna go. There's 4, there's 4 1/4, so about 1/8 of an inch smaller. And then here's 5 1/2, so about 1/8 of an inch smaller. There we go. Now watch, I bet this one will work. Hey, hey, go figure. Okay, now since I want that pattern to show, I'm gonna cut this one considerably smaller. So the original card size is 4 1/4. I cut that one, the pink one, to be 1/8 of an inch smaller. So now I'm going to cut this 1/4 of an inch smaller than that. I know it sounds like a lot, but just go with me. So that the card is 5 1/2. I cut that one to be 1/8 of an inch smaller. And now I'm going to cut this one to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than that. Good thing my dad taught me how to use a tape measure, right? So now this sits on there and you can still see that it says love you around the edge of it. So again, this paper has edges and I don't like that per se. So I'm going to distress the edges just a little bit. I'm going to use Vintage Photo. Do you guys like seeing the whole card making process? Does it take too long? Do you like this cutter better than the green one? I like this cutter okay. They have different attributes. So I do like the We Are Memory Keepers green or teal cutter for a lot of things, but mine was getting very, very dull. So I happened to get this one just because I was at a show and I'm learning to like it. Okay, so now before I get too far, I need to cut this down as well. So I'm going to start by trimming this little bit off of the bottom. And then, so I know that this piece is 3 and 5/8. No, 3 and 7/8, sorry. So I need to cut this smaller than that. So I'm going to cut this to 3 3/4. Okay, so there's that. Then this piece, again, is 5 1/8. I want to keep it centered, so I'm going to cut a little bit off of each side. So since that's 5 1/8, I'm going to cut this to 4 7/8. And we're going to see how that sits, if I want to cut more off or not. And I think I'm going to skew it a little bit, so I think we're good there. And then I'm going to use this same ink to do the sides of this one. I always like doing this because it creates a little bit of a vignette. I think it looks super cool, especially on the craft paper. And then I'm just going to add a little to the bottom here. There we go. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I have all my papers. I'm going to clean up my ink. All that requires is just a spritz of water and a tissue. Yeah, I like doing the angled layers too, Holly. Okay, so I take this so that I can lay it flat. Grab my glue. These pins are a little bit large, Lena. They work, but they're a little bit large. I do not like the way that is laying. I don't like that either. Okay. Just because I want to get this on here perfect. Okay, so I'm lining up this corner and I'm lining up that corner so that it's skewed. Yeah, that would be great. So that means I want to skew this one this way. Okay, now you guys know me. I can't do anything without putting a little bow on it or some bling or something like that. I kind of like this really dark royal purple ribbon. So we're going to go with that. So my special bow, pinch it between your thumb and your middle finger. You do 2 figure 8s. Then I'm going to snip it. Those were the wrong scissors. Loop it around and then through to make the little knot. Pull that knot really tight. And then it's easier to get different scissors. Haha. It's easier to snip these while it's on your finger. Gonna remove that. And I think that bow's going to go right in the middle of that flower. What do you think? Could put it around the neck of the voodoo doll. Could put it on her head. Could put it over here. I could not put it at all. What do you guys think? Do you like the bow or no bow? I know Lena's going to say no bow. Okay, now yeah, I knew you'd say no bow. Okay, that's fine. We'll do no bow. We're going to do some stickles instead. So, big spot of stickles. To make the center of that flower. Cool. And then I'm gonna grab just a sentiment. I don't even know if I left room for a sentiment. A dot. And I'm going to put it right in the middle of that flower. Because why not, right? Of course, I stuck it to my desk. Oh my gosh, you guys, watch me struggle with this dot. There we go. This dot does not want to go. There. Okay. And there you have it. I was going to do the sentiment from here. I mean, I suppose I still could. I need a little piece of craft. Holly says we need a sentiment. Ah! Oh my goodness, these magnets. I love this, dibs. So I thought this was kind of funny, do small things with great love. And then I'm going to add a couple of the pins to it. So I'm going to go like this just so I have a little bit of room. The pins from the Voodoo Dolls. I don't know why that is doing that. There we go. So, let me go get a couple of embossing powders that I need. Silver, black, and white. Is that white? Yeah, white. Okay. And then birthmark. Okay, are y'all ready? My whole desk has completely exploded. Want it for the booth. Yeah. Y'all are killing me, Smalls. My desk is so exploded. Okay. It's only been an hour and a half. I like to stamp twice, especially when I'm embossing. I love the juxtaposition of the cute little voodoo doll, the scary voodoo doll, and the potions with the cute, pretty little flowers. It makes me happy. Okay, so very important when you are embossing, very, very important, is to heat up your embossing gun first. So let me get some of this stuff out of the way or it's all gonna blow everywhere. Okay. Glue, stickles, pencil sharpener. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then I like to use my little magnets to hold my paper down. Gonna heat up my embossing gun. Okay, now that it's warm, I can go over my embossing. And then if you want your embossing really smooth, just touch the back of it for a second. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my Voodoo Dolls set again. Yeah, we don't sell our own heating gun. It's really hard for us to travel with what we have, so adding more to that is just tough. This is my same Stampin' Up! One, pal, that I bought from you when you did Stampin' Up! So that's how long I've had this one. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Voodoo Dolls and see how it has these little pins. I'm going to grab a couple of the little pins and I'm going to put around this because I think it's funny. can get it to let go of my finger. Okay. Now, even though I've already used my embossing buddy, I need to use it again because I've touched the paper. And if you saw where I set my embossing buddy, that would be even better. There it is. You have your same one too? Yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to grab my Versamark. Again, I'm going to stamp this 2 times. And I have one of my planner sheets here, so I'm going to do my embossing over the top of that. This is silver embossing powder. I always tap to let the powder settle. I always put the lid right back on the jar because I know myself. Again, I'm going to let my embossing gun heat up. Yeah, you should, pal. I love seeing you do stuff, stamping stuff, because you're the one that got me into stamping. Okay, and then to make this kind of go with the rest of the card, I'm going to use my marker, and I'm going to color this in. Gonna grab my white pencil to put a highlight on it. Super duper awesome. Okay. Go back to my Distress ink. Wipe this off. grab some dots. Aw, thanks, Linda. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to grab my tweezers to put this on because I don't want my big fat hand in the way when I line it up. And everything on this card is a little bit askew. So I'm going to make this a little bit askew as well. And then I covered up my stickles, which is fine because I'm just going to add it. This one you can still kind of see, so I'm going to add it there. And then I'm going to add that one there. And there we go, you guys. There it is, our anti-Valentine's Day card. I hope you guys really liked this. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned some new and different techniques. Like I said, I will post this video to the YouTube so that you can, to our YouTube channel, I should say, so that you can see it again and again if you want to. And thanks for joining me. I really appreciate having you guys here. And there it is, Valentine's Day, Jammie style. Thank you so much, and I'll see y'all later. Toodles!